Hi everyone, today we've got a geometric sequence question. So first thing is the top right of the page. This is from the formula booklet. This is not given in the question. That's what I'm talking about. That part there, you would need to go to your formula booklet and copy down those two things. So the question, a geometric sequence has a first term of 8 over 3 and a fourth term of 9. Part A, find the common ratio. So first thing I like to do is U1 equals 8 over 3. I'm just writing down the bits from the question that I know, and the fourth term is 9. So U4 is 9. Part A says find the common ratio. So for part A, we're going to use the top equation, UN equals U1 times the ratio to the power of n minus 1. Now let's sub in the things that we know. So we know that U1 is 8 over 3 and U4 is 9. So this first bit here, UN, I'm going to put 9 times r to the power of n. N is going to be 4. So 4 minus 1, well, that part there, 4 minus 1, I'm going to rub that out and just put 3 straight away. Okay, now we've got something that we can solve. So let's go menu, equation, solver, 9. And we get x equals 1.5 or r equals 1.5. So r equals 1.5. On the marking scheme, you get a correct mark for showing the expression or the equation. So the 9 equals 8 over 3 r to the power of 3. That gets you a mark. And then you get a mark for a correct answer of r equals 1.5. If you wanted to do it algebraically and show all your steps, then you could do that as well, but in this mark scheme that I'm looking at, you don't get extra marks. Write down the second term of the sequence. Well, if I've got UN, now I've really got U2 equals U1, which is 8 over 3, times R, which is now, we just figured out R was 1.5, to the power of n minus 1. So n is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1. So now let's get an answer for this. Four. This is only worth 1 mark, this question, so you just get a correct answer of 4, but it is good habit to show all of your steps anyway. Last one, the sum of the first k terms is greater than 2,500. Find the smallest possible value of k. So this is where we're going to use the second equation on my formula booklet, the sum of n terms of a finite geometric sequence. So the sum of the first k terms is greater than 2,500. So I'm going to have 2,500 is less than the sum of the first k terms. Now I'm going to use this formula. I'll draw a circle around it. I'm going to use this formula up here. So U1 is 8 over 3. R is 1.5. N, we're not going to use N, we're going to use K because it says the first K terms. So let's keep it consistent. K minus 1. All of that divided by R, which is 1.5, minus 1. Now, a few ways that you could solve this. The way that I like to do it is get my graph, delete these old ones. Let's change the top you see this part on the right hand side of my equation, the 8 over 3 and all the rest of it is greater than. So if I change my type, I'm going to change my type next, and I want that y is less than, like that. Now I can type in my equation. So I'll put a big set of brackets. We've got all of that, and we are dividing that by 1.5 minus 1. Let's draw this and see what we get. We may need to change the view window. So view window 0 to 50, well, that might be fine actually. And then 60,000 is probably a bit big. We probably only need that to 10,000. Now why am I choosing 10,000? Because the question says 2,500, so we just need it to be about that number. Let's draw it again. Okay, I think that should be fine. And now the next one, I'm going to change my type, and I want to make it y equals, and this one we want it to be 2,500, because remember back to the question, it said when it's 2,500. So now we should have two lines. Let's g-solve, let's find the intersection. And the intersection occurs when k equals 15.17, so that's 15.2. 15.2 is not a valid answer to the question because it says the sum of the first k terms. So that means when k is 15, the graph hasn't quite reached 2,500. When k is 16, it has reached 2,500. So now we need to say that k equals 16. You need to round this number up. So that last question, you get a mark for the correct inequality, which is the first line. You get a mark for k is 15.2, and you get a mark for k equals 16 as your final answer. Final answer must be an integer.